Interview with Aidan Anderson. Alright, so how's it been leaving a small island and coming to LA?
Probably one of the biggest shocks to the system, man. I came from a place where there was no stop signs, no stop lights. Population was about 2,000, and then so coming into LA, like right off the bat, was just overwhelming. I remember when I first got in LA and I drove up to a stop sign. I got honked at and flipped off by an 80-year-old woman. And I was just like, wow. And that was just pretty much the awakening of the whole LA traffic situation. Parking tickets also, that was a huge one. Not used to the whole street sweeping thing. I didn't know that was a thing.
Yeah.
And I've watched those things. They don't do anything really. They don't pick up anything. But yeah, no, it was tough. Probably the first month, definitely. But I do like the fast pace, and it's definitely the place to be if you want to pursue, your dreams. It's a land of opportunity, but it's a lot different than home.
And what small island are you from exactly?
It's San Juan Island. It's right on the border between Canada and Washington State.
Alright.
Literally, you can take a kayak and go to Canada if you wanted to. It's that close. But beautiful, man. I mean, orca wells, green trees. It's amazing.
So what finally pushed you to make the move here?
It came down to the decision of, do I want to do construction for the rest of my life? Have a bad back? My options were just running thin. And I thought, what, screw it. I'm just going to go for it. And I packed up the bags, everything I belong, and I just headed out.
So have you always had kind of a maybe passion for the industry or modeling, or is it something that just kind of happened?
Well, at a young age, my dad's an art teacher at a high school, so the artistic genes in me. I can't draw or work anything, like stick figures, and that's about it. But on the flip side of that, I was in drama school or classes when I was young. I kind of got away from that in high school because it came to a decision: do I want to do sports or do I want to do drama? Now, I was Indian number 3 in Peter Pan in 8th grade, so my portfolio is pretty strong. But it's always been a passion of mine. Watching films with my dad growing up, just being moved by acting or a film in itself has always been something that really intrigued me. So this is the place to be for that, I guess.
Definitely. And what sports did you play?
I wrestled in high school. I also played football and a little bit of boxing. I didn't like the whole idea of getting punched in the face, though.
Yeah.
So that was a short-lived situation. But mainly football.
Good thing you gave up on boxing. You wouldn't be modeling right now, maybe.
It's true. I would have a very scruffy look. A real beat-up kind of vibe going on.
So have you given any thought to who you might want to work with, or are you anybody's work you admire that you're kind of like, hey, I wouldn't mind working with them?
Like out of all the films I've seen, out of all the actors I've seen, someone that inspires me on a day-to-day is probably Brad Pitt. Just the films he's done, his acting level, and how diverse he can go. And also remaining as level-headed as you can in this business.
Yeah.
He seems to be one of those guys that was able to, stay even keel, which is something that is the most important to me, keeping those morals and keeping, everything intact with all the craziness in this industry.
Just so everybody knows, we're going up these stairs, which is why we're a little out of breath.
Just a little bit.
Just a little. What has been the biggest drawback so far?
Honestly, probably financial. Trying to keep up with the parking tickets, rent, and the overhead.
Yeah.
And it being such a financial roller coaster ride. One week you think, oh my gosh, I want to be living the dream. And then, all of a sudden nothing happens for, 2 months at a time.
Yeah.
So it's really trying to get in that headspace that you have to do what you have to do to pay the bills. I mean, I've catered, I've painted houses, I've done everything I can to make sure that I can stay in LA,
Yeah. So I guess that would also be the biggest drawback.
Yeah, definitely.
And then what's been the most exciting part?
Most exciting part of LA, oh man, that's a long list. Just meeting so many different people. I came from a place where you know everyone. You go to a grocery store, it takes you 3 hours because you're having so many conversations with everyone you know. So meeting people that have come from all sorts of different backgrounds, ethnicities, cultures, that's been one of the most exciting things to me, just meeting just a huge abundance of different people. And then also the beach, to be honest.
Yeah.
Oh man, nothing like it. The island that I came from was super cold water. Like, you can't jump in it, so this is like a jacuzzi to me.
So if you could change anything about the industry, what would it be?
Probably the whole saying nice guys finish last. It'd be really nice if that wasn't the case, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's just it's tough, like remaining a humble and also like a good person is tough in this business, and morals are something that's really important to me, and keeping those.
All right, I know we talked about it before, how you were discovered, but tell everyone else what you told me.
So I was discovered through my mom's senior graduation pictures. She took them and posted it on Facebook, and a modeling agency contacted me. At the time, I didn't want anything to do with modeling. I watched Zoolander with all my friends. It wasn't something that quite intrigued me. Then I moved to Colorado to pursue college, and 2 weeks before school started, my living situation fell through, and I had to pack up the bags and go home. I was pretty down on my luck. Luckily, my good old Uncle Lou offered me a construction job to get by. And I did it for about 6 months, and then the modeling agency contacted me again because they noticed I was back in the area, and they said, hey, just give this a shot, we think you have a good look. And I thought to myself, screw it, I'm just gonna try. I went in, took a test shoot, I sent out my portfolio, I got signed with an agency in LA. I was in LA a week later. That's how it all kind of started.
And what effects, either positive or negative, you think social media has had on your career?
Social media is definitely the name of the game nowadays. I mean, it's funny, like, even on our comp cards for modeling, it has our name, our stats, and then it has our Instagram account. Like, it plays such a role. And also, it's what people look at all the time. And if you can make a positive influence through that, it's a really good way to communicate with a bunch of people at once. So it's played a big role, definitely.
What's your favorite Instagram filter?
My favorite Instagram filter? That's a funny one. That's a good question, man. I'm more of an all-natural kind of guy. Maybe the only thing that I do sometimes is I think it's Lux, right? Or the LUX. Sometimes I'll adjust that a little bit for lighting purposes, but usually the pictures I have are edited already by photographers, so they hate it if you touch their pictures. So.
Yeah. So how much consideration do you put into what you post on Instagram? Do you really have to consider what you're posting because you're worried about your agency or anything like that?
Usually I sit in the corner of my house for about 6 hours and I contemplate on the post I'm about to do. Honestly, it's just trying to put out good vibes and just thinking in the back of my mind, if my grandma or my mom saw this, would they approve, kind of a thing.
Yeah.
And it's just being more diverse than just modeling pictures. I'll try to put, something that shows personality also, just funny videos, things like that, to really get a positive message through.
Have you been anywhere special to model, or has it been mostly here in...
Right now it's been mostly in the LA area. In the fall I might be going to New York, but that's still on the table. I want to stay in LA due to acting, but yeah, I don't know where it's gonna take me, man. It's exciting.
And what, as far as acting, have you done to pursue that?
So that's a funny story also. I was walking to Target one day, kind of down on my luck, just got another parking ticket, and all of a sudden a Mercedes pulls up right behind me. And they get out of the car, and I'm like, oh crap, what did I do? Or this is not gonna be a good situation. And a guy gets out of the car and he's like, hey, do you act? And I was like, you know, I've thought about pursuing it, but to be honest, like, I don't have a professional portfolio. And he gives me his business card, and went to his office the next day, and I signed with a manager for acting, and it all started happening like that. He got me into some acting classes, and it was a blessing in disguise. I mean, it was such a blessing that happened to me, so I'm really glad I went to Target that day.
Good choice.
Yeah.
Minus the parking ticket.
Yeah.
So are there any upcoming projects that you have coming up that you can
You
share?
know, I'd tell you, but I have to kill you, kind of
Yeah,
a thing.
yeah.
It's one of those situations. But I'll just say, like, the future is looking bright.
Good, good. So what does your workout routine consist of?
So, workout routine. I've been working out probably since I was 14, and now I'm 19. So it's been, I've been very consistent on it. It's a good way for me to relieve stress in the day-to-day life. It's something I can control when I can't control anything else. Usually it consists of about 30 minutes of cardio, which will be either hiking, running, sometimes rowing also. And then about a 30-minute ab routine that I've engraved in my head over the years. And then an hour of weightlifting, about 6 days a week.
So what's something about people that you think they might get wrong just through your social media, like that they could assume about you, which is completely...
They could assume that maybe I'm sort of a brainless, just, you know, just all muscle, no brains kind of a thing, or no personality. And in all honesty, like, my dad engraved in me at a very early age that looks fade, they don't last forever. And there's a lot, you don't want to put all your eggs in one basket with that. So, I mean, people might presume that, you know, he's just a good looking guy and there's nothing else going on, kind of a thing.
So, as a trainer,
Yes.
what do you find to be the biggest challenge when you're trying to motivate your clients?
The biggest motivation is trying to get through their head consistency, and just trying to engrave in their head that also I won't be there to hold their hand every day of their lives. And what I try to do is I try to train them the best I can so that it sticks with them for a very long time and they're able to do it on their own eventually.
So what do you want to inspire in not only the people you train, but the growing Instagram and social media following?
Basically, I just want people to, I don't know, I mean, too many people kind of get behind the cell phone and behind the technology, and they look at what other people are doing, and they're like, God, I wish I could live that. Go out and do it yourself, you know? Go and chase your dreams. Make it a reality. Don't be the person where, you know, you're following someone and you're thinking, I wish I had their life. Make it for yourself, you know?
So what runs through your mind when you're doing your own personal workout and your body's giving out? What do you like kind of do to motivate yourself, or is there like a particular song that you put on and
You
you're
know,
just like,
for
it's
me,
through
I
it?
think of, there's someone right now in this moment training 3 times as hard as me on the same path. And it could be coming down to a casting, an audition for a huge role. And I just think to myself, I'm just gonna keep going, because it could come down to that, you know,
Yeah.
those 5 minutes left on a spin bike, you know, it could come down to that.
Yeah. And what is the last song that you listen to on your playlist?
Oh, Big Sean. I don't think I can say it on camera what song it is, but I think you guys know. There's a lot of swear words involved.
Got it. So what's your go-to snack?
Go-to snack. Peanut butter, man. Peanut butter everything. Peanut butter onto some bread, peanut butter by the spoonful. I'm a enthusiast with peanut butter, man.
And what food is your weakness?
Oh, gosh. You know, it's the sausage breakfast sandwiches at Starbucks. There's one right by my house, and I'm having a tough time dropping that habit. It's just right there, and it really fills that void in the morning. So that's definitely a weak spot for me.
So what's your favorite way to stay active outside of the gym?
Hiking. We're doing it right now, brother. Living the dream. I love the
yeah.
great outdoors. Oh yeah. Beautiful hiking. I mean, especially in the LA area, it's everywhere.
Yeah, definitely. Pan out to the view.
Look at that.
I mean,
All the way from Santa Monica to downtown LA.
yeah.
It's amazing, man.
So what advice would you have to those people who, kind of look not only at your social media, but other social media and it's like, hey, I wish I could do that, but I'm from Iowa. There's no way that I can do that.
So with me, I was in a financial situation that was tough. Upbringing was tough. I felt like I was always going to be stuck and trapped on the island for a little while. I worked my ass off. I saved up, $7,000, and with that little nest egg, I went for it. I tried to make a smart investment, and that was coming to LA. So work hard and chase those dreams, no matter where you are.
All right.
You can always change your location.
And then what do you want, final words, what do you want the people that your followers, future followers, to take away from Aidan Anderson?
What do they want to take away from me? Most important thing for me is living in the moment. Don't let the past define you, and make those dreams a reality. Live every day as if it was your last, but in a smart way. Don't take that like literally.
Yeah. Got it. All right. That's Aidan Anderson.
Goodbye, guys.
Gotcha.